Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of media videos for 2023, and we're going to be featuring game action from Week 9. Now, before we get into our plays, I want to give you a quick update on the impact of our 3 clock rule changes for this year. And remember, the expectations from the Rules Committee was, number 1, to keep the game moving, number 2, to modestly reduce the number of plays per game, and number 3, to synchronize all officiating mechanics when it comes to working with the clock. So how are we doing? In FBS, we're averaging 176 plays per game, and that's down a little over 4 plays per game from last year, and our time is down right at 4 minutes per game. In FCS, we're averaging 171 plays, and that's down about 4.5 plays from last year and 5 minutes on the clock. As far as Division II, we're averaging 170 plays, and that's down about 4.5 plays from last year. And then Division III, and remember in Division III, we did not implement the first down clock rule change. And so plays for Division III are actually slightly up for this year. But this is something we'll continue to monitor as we go down the stretch. So with that, let's get on into our plays. Our first play this week is from a great Division III game. Muhlenberg is hosting Johns Hopkins in a battle of unbeatens. Both teams are undefeated, and after a very tense and exciting game, we're tied at 28-28, and the visitors line up to try a winning field goal with 3 seconds remaining on the clock. Now, the kick is blocked, and the ball careens directly to number 88 of the offense. He spins out and runs to the goal line where we see the line judge in perfect position, and he rules touchdown on the play. Now, the question is this a legal play and a legal advance by number 88? By rule, if a scrimmage kick fails to cross the neutral zone, and a punt and a field goal attempt are considered scrimmage kicks. So if the kick doesn't cross the neutral zone and it didn't hear, any player of either team may catch or recover the ball behind the neutral zone and advance it. And also, if the block of the kick occurs no more than 3 yards beyond the neutral zone, it's considered to have occurred within or behind the neutral zone. So the ball never crossed the neutral zone here. It was caught by number 88 behind the neutral zone. So this was a legal play. The touchdown is confirmed. It's an exciting or heartbreaking way to win or lose a game. Play 2, the quarterback drops back, and he's going to complete a crossing route to number 20 of the offense, and then he receives a big hit from 21 of the defense, and we're going to get a flag down from our headline judge for targeting. Now, as we go back and take a look at the replays, we see that the receiver is defenseless, and number 21 attacks the defenseless receiver high, so there's an indicator of targeting as well. Now, it looks like the intent of the defender was to lead with the shoulder, but as we see, there is forcible contact to the receiver's head or neck area, so all 3 elements are met for targeting, and number 21 is disqualified. Now, I think the defender really wanted to lead with the shoulder, but he's got to lower his target just slightly as to stay off the defenseless receiver's head and neck area. This would be a good football play if he did lower the target, but when he attacks high and hits the defenseless player with forcible contact to the head or neck area, it is targeting. One final note here, the foul is late in the second quarter, but the disqualification will not carry over to the first half of the next game. Only targeting fouls occurring in the second half carry over. Play 3 is an illustration of our blocking below the waist rule. And remember that we made a change for player safety that only allows blocking below the waist in the tackle box. And for the defense specifically, blocking below the waist is only allowed on the initial line charge for defenders lined up in a stationary position within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage within the tackle box. Now here we see the offense. They're going to hand to the back who sweeps right in, and we get 2 markers down as the play ends, one from our referee, one from our back judge for an illegal block below the waist. Now as we go back and take a look, we see cornerback number 14, he comes up and he's just going to chop low the pulling lineman number 73, and he blocks him clearly below the waist. And this is a foul by number 14 as the block occurred outside the tackle box, and the penalty will be enforced 15 yards from the end of the run. The good news is that our medical data indicates since the rule change, we've had a statistically significant drop in lower leg injuries, that's knees and ankles, of players being blocked. That's good for the players, and that's good for the game. Play 4 is an extra point play after touchdown, and the offense is lined up in a wide spread out formation. Now, the formation is legal with only 4 backs, and since the offense is not in a scrimmage kick formation, they must meet the requirement of 5 linemen numbered 50 to 79, and they do here. Now, many times the offense, if they don't sense an advantage by formation, they'll just shift back into a normal scrimmage kick formation and try a 1-point kick on the extra point. But here, the snapper's going to flip the ball out, but the umpire is going to get his flag out and shut the play down for an illegal snap. Now, the rule states that legally snapping the ball is handing or passing it backward from its position on the ground with a quick and continuous motion of the hand or hands, and the ball actually leaving the hand or hands in this motion. The snap need not be between the snapper's legs, but to be legal, it must be quick and continuous backward motion. And finally, it's not a legal snap if the ball is first moved forward or if the ball is lifted. And what we see here, clearly the snapper lifts the ball and then he flips it to the back on the right side of the formation. So this is a correct call by our umpire since the action of the snap was not quick and continuous backward motion. This is a 5-yard penalty, and the offense will run their try from the 8-yard line. Play 5, the quarterback drops back. He rolls to his right. He's going to throw downfield. The ball's tipped by a defender and then caught by 0 of the offense for a first down, and that's the ruling on the field. Now, there's a lot to break down on this play, and let's first focus on the action by 0. He clearly goes out of bounds on his own, so we know that he loses his eligibility and he can't be the first to touch a legal forward pass. But as we go back and look upfield, we see number 30 of the defense. He's going to tip the ball. And by rule, when the defense touches a legal forward pass, all players become eligible. So 0 is now eligible, but he must reestablish back inbounds to catch the pass. And as we watch 0, initially his left foot is out of bounds. He lifts it and the right foot is inbounds, so he's reestablished, but the left foot's going to come down again out of bounds. And then when the left foot comes up again, the question is, does the right foot of the receiver touch back down inbounds, reestablishing 0 before he touches the ball? It's very tight. I don't think he's reestablished, but it's not clear and obvious here. And then ultimately he catches the ball inbounds, and replay is going to let this play stand. This play is tough to officiate in super slow motion. Our last play, we're late in a 1-score game with the offense leading. They face 3rd and 9 with 58 seconds remaining, and the quarterback's just going to keep the ball up the middle to bring up 4th down. And then we're going to have a defender go down injured, and we stop the clock at 44 seconds for an injury timeout. Now, since we're under 1 minute and the injury timeout is the only reason we stop the clock, the offense can elect a 10-second runoff here. And since the defense is out of timeouts, then they can't avoid the runoff. Now, the referee's going to go over to the defensive coach and explain what is about to happen, and then we get a good announcement.
The defensive injury carries a 10-second subtraction. Time kicker, please set the game clock to 34 seconds. The play clock will be set at 40, and we'll start on the referee's whistle.
Now, anytime we have a defensive injury, by rule, the play clock is set to 40 seconds. It's set to 25 if we have an offensive injury, but here it's set to 40. And with the 10-second runoff, the game clock is set to 34 seconds. With the play clock at 40 and the referee starts the clock on the ready for play, the offense does not have to snap the ball again. The game is over. Well, that's it for our plays this week, and we appreciate your time invested in this video. We hope these plays continue to be helpful, and we appreciate and welcome your continued feedback and comments. As we enter Week 10, every game matters. Best of luck to all.